Hey everybody, I'm Bob Lucido and you're back in the Bearcat Training Camp where we are providing in-depth business building training for Team Beachbody coaches. Alright, well, we're about to turn a corner in our training here, but before we do, just let me remind you, as I did in our little reminder video on our Facebook page a couple of days ago, you don't want to leave behind the stuff that we've covered up till now. Make sure that you're continuing your commitment to living within the sharing cycle, your commitment to the daily disciplines, to building this business on purpose, matching your activities that you're planning and scheduling to make sure that they're driving success in the key performance indicator areas that you chose for your business, and that you're following along and journaling and really being a participant in the process, okay? Because what we're going to talk about in the next couple of videos is really some technical stuff. It's important to know, obviously, especially as a business owner, you want to know the technical side of things and how the business works, and especially some of the income generation points that we are going to be talking about. And by the way, please do check out the income disclaimer in the description of this video. Neither Beachbody nor Lucido Fitness can guarantee any particular level of success for any particular individual. The success that you have is going to be directly related to and based upon what you bring to the table, and basically what you put in, okay, and the effort and so on and so forth. So that's important to say. This is not a lottery ticket. This is not a, come on in and get rich quick kind of thing. This is a business, and there is a way to build it, and that's what we're sharing in here. And there are some key concepts that you want to understand about the potential to earn income so that you make sure that you're doing the right things to qualify for those things, okay? So we talked about a couple of the early ranks. We talked about Emerald, we talked about Diamond, and please remember that there's an array of opportunities for you to earn income through this opportunity, some directly related to your own retail sales and others that are related to the production of team volume, what your team produces on a weekly basis. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about and break down what's called the team cycle bonus. And this is the portion of your weekly income that is based not upon what you are doing individually, not trading hours for dollars anymore, but based upon what your team does on a weekly basis. The people that you have sponsored into the business, or that your upline have sponsored into the business below you, and everyone who has been sponsored into the business by all of those people who have been placed into what we call your organization, okay? You get paid a weekly bonus based on the total volume produced by your entire downline. And that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we mean when we talk about the team cycle bonus, okay? So let's break it down just a little bit. Basically, the team cycle bonus starts at 300, okay? So every time the team beneath you generates 300 volume points, and volume points is basically a point per dollar. There's some products that it doesn't match up exactly, but that's basically what it is. And for today's purposes, let's just assume that that's what we're talking about. So every time your team, everyone beneath you in the organization, generates a total of 300 volume points, and that can be from sales and or purchases from everybody who's beneath you in the organization, that generates what we call a cycle, okay? Now, the 300, there is a caveat. It has to be produced in your downline in a 2-to-1 ratio, which means that every time there's 200 volume points generated over here by the coaches on your left side, matched by 100 volume points generated by the coaches on your right side, adding to the magic 300 and split in the 2-to-1 will generate for you what we call a cycle. Now, At Emerald, you're paid $14 every time that happens. At Ruby, you're paid $16. And at Diamond and above, as we talked about in the Diamond video, you're paid $18 per cycle. Every time you hit this 300 total volume points, so long as it's broken up in this 2-to-1, you're paid a cycle, okay? So, if for some reason this particular week, this leg generates 2,000 volume points, and this leg generates 1,000, notice I'm keeping the math easy here, instead of one cycle, right, we have 10 100s over here, matched by 10 200s. It's going to give us 10 cycles, and by the way, it generated the total of 3,000 volume points, giving us 10 cycles, and let's assume we're at Diamond. 10 cycles at $18 per cycle, we just earned $180 in that week, okay? Now, if everything is all set up nicely and in an ideal setting, and your organization is actually producing a perfect 2-to-1 ratio in terms of volume that's being generated, you are earning 6% on all of the volume that's generated beneath you. That's on top of course, all those other avenues that we talked about for earning income as a Diamond coach or above, your retail sales and the matching bonus and all of that other stuff. 6% off of everything that's generated beneath you, $18 off of every 300, that's 6%, so long as you are set up so that you are producing either an exact 2-to-1 or a 1-to-1. Because even a 1-to-1, if this 300 were actually split as 150 and 150, it would still generate a cycle because of something that we call carryover. And carryover says that if you have anything left over after you cycle, it's going to stay here and wait until it can be cycled. And so if you have an exact 1-to-1 and you have 2,000 coming up one leg, or actually this would look like 1,500 and 1,500, you're still going to generate the same 10 cycles because of that carryover principle, because they'll just catch up on whichever side needs it at the moment, because this also happens daily, folks. It's happening in your business all the time. You get paid out weekly, but since it doesn't matter which side the 200's on or the 100's on, it's just continually calculated. What's your total volume, and how many times can we split that total volume in a 100, 200, not mattering which is the bigger one at the particular moment, so long as there's a 200, 100 as the volume is coming in, okay? Now I know I threw a whole lot at you there, so just take a step back, understand that so long as you can always match or double the volume that's coming in on your weak side, you can always determine how many cycles you're going to end up with. If I have 2,000 volume points over here, and I have, let's say, 4,655 on my opposite side, I know that I've at least doubled my 2,000, so I'm going to cover all of this. I have enough 100s over here, enough 200s over here to cover all of my 100s over here, which means that I'll cycle all of this out. So all you have to do is divide by 100. How many hundreds are over here? As long as I can match that with my 2-to-1 ratio in my strong leg and I cycle all of that out, I've now got 20 cycles. And I'll be paid the 20 times the 18. Now, here's the cool part. What happens with this 655 that's left over, that didn't get cycled out? It gets carried over. which means that you basically are banking this until next week. And it will just simply be added in to next week's cycling until you can cycle it out. Now, carryover continues to mount up and it continues to grow. Continues to grow, continues to mount out. You can cycle it as you're able to, based on what your business is doing, but it remains there until something called the master flush happens. Carryover can be built and stored up to what we call the master flush, where all of your carryover suddenly wipes out on both sides. And that happens at every 5,000 cycles. Okay? So that means that someone who comes in and gets their spot in the business, and let's say they're emerald or they even make their way up to diamond, yet for whatever reason they're not able to cycle out all of the volume that's coming in. Maybe they have a particularly strong leg that they're sharing with their team or whatever that may be. They can actually bank all of that volume until the time they're actually able to cycle it out. And you can bank and hold on to that carryover volume up until you're able to cycle it out 5,000 times. So it doesn't go on forever. However, 5,000 cycles, it takes 1,500,000 total volume points to create 5,000 cycles. So if we did our 2-to-1 split, that would be 1,000,000 on one side and 500,000 on the other side. Meaning that if you're an emerald or a diamond who's banking carryover simply because you're not keeping up with the cycling of it, which happens in the beginning of the business, you're building, you have to build both sides, you don't have to worry about losing that volume. It stays right there and waits until you can cycle it out. Up until this amount, and that's quite a lot, right? 5,000 cycles, 5,000 times $18 per cycle, that turns out to be $90,000 worth of volume, cyclable volume, that can be sitting there in the business as carryover. Okay? Now what happens is that every time you cycle 5,000 times as you continue, then that carryover washes away when you go through the master flush. Okay? So there are some limits on the amount of carryover that you are able to create and hold on to. But that's quite a nice little chunk of change that you are able to hold on to over there as carryover when you're building your business. And you can build up to a place where you can start cycling that out as your business matures and your organization grows. Okay, so that's an important concept to understand, carryover and the master flush. Okay, now let me slip back here to our team cycle bonus discussion because there's another piece that we didn't talk about. Okay, I said you can earn up to 6% in team cycle bonus of all the volume underneath you, so long as your organization is set up in the 2-to-1 or exactly 1-to-1, so that you are actually cycling all of that volume. However, there are limits on that. Okay, and the limits on that are determined by your rank. Okay, and that's why in this, especially in this next section of the training, you're going to hear me talk a lot about the relationship between volume and rank, because there's a very important relationship that is directly related to your ability to generate income through the team cycle business, team cycle bonus, that is based upon this volume rank relationship. Okay, so in the beginning I showed you how the volume drives your ability to cycle, and I told you that it goes on endlessly. There's no limit about the depth from which this volume can come from. Okay, so for instance, my team right now is about 34,000 members strong, my team cycle bonus is driven by the purchases and sales from all 34,000 coaches in the downline. There's no limit to that, except for rank. And here's how it works, okay? At each rank, there is a weekly cap on the amount you can earn through the team cycle bonus. And at the emerald rank, when we are earning team cycle bonus at $14 a cycle, we are limited to a total earnings from team cycle bonus per week of $250. Okay, that's pretty cool though. Emerald, you just started, you got your first 2 coaches, you got something going on, you're able to earn up to $250 a week based on what the team is doing underneath you. And remember, that's on top of whatever you're generating yourself through retail sales and through your own efforts, okay? At Ruby, that jumps up to $1,000 a week. We didn't really talk too much about Ruby. Ruby's kind of a rank that most people kind of either jump over or go right through. Ruby is 2 emeralds, 1 on each side, and then 1 personally sponsored coach also on each side. Remember, Diamond was an emerald on each side plus 3 personally sponsored coaches. So most people are able to get the 4 personally sponsors on each side, and obviously it takes a little bit longer for 1 or 2 of those to go emerald, which brings us to Diamond. At Ruby, you're earning $16 per cycle, and you can earn up to $1,000 per week from the team cycle bonus. Okay? At Diamond is when it starts getting serious, and remember, that's what I said in the Diamond video. At Diamond, you begin earning team cycle bonus at $18 per cycle, which is the maximum amount we ever earn per cycle. Once you get to Diamond, all the way up to 15-star Diamond and beyond, it's $18 per cycle. And at Diamond, you're able to earn up to $2,000 per week from the team cycle bonus aspect. And remember, go back and watch the Diamond video because there's some other ways that you can earn income as well as a Diamond coach. But through team cycle bonus, the rank cap is up to 2,000. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much volume you have underneath you. If I happen to drop down to Diamond rank, and no matter what volume is sent up to me, hundreds of thousands of volume points on a weekly basis coming up, I can only earn $2,000 per week in cycle bonus at this rank. For each star rank advancement, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and you hear those, right? I'm a 5-star diamond, I'm a 6-star diamond, I'm a 2-star diamond. This is what it means. It means that for every star, which means that you've personally sponsored a diamond yourself, your ability to earn under the team cycle bonus goes up $1,000 per week per star, okay? All the way up to 10-star diamond. It stops there, okay? It stops there. So diamond, $2,000 a week. You can go all the way up to 10-star diamond, adding $1,000 per week, which brings us to $12,000 per week. And that's the cap on team cycle bonus payout per business center. Once you're at 10-star diamond or above, it stops there. So if you're 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-star diamond, this is still the cap right here at 10-star diamond per business center. And remember, from one of the earlier videos, I told you we are allowed to own up to 25 business centers. There's a process for qualifying for the ability to open subsequent business centers. You can't start right off doing it, but we can own up to 25 business centers, each one capped at $12,000 per week in the team cycle bonus portion once you get to 10-star diamond, okay? So, again, it's only one portion of your earnings. You still get the matching bonus, which is limitless. You still have the ability to retail, which is limitless. There are other avenues. There's trip rewards and all kinds of other cool things available under the comp plan and your ability to earn. But what we've been talking about today is the team cycle bonus aspect. And this is a big one, and you're going to hear from other coaches as we continue with the guest coach series, and some of the stuff that we're going to talk about is some of the more technical side of building, how to optimize the generation of your cycles as you build your business, and how to optimize your ability to actually qualify for the income, and how to build in a way that's going to optimize the income generation capacities as you build your business. And obviously that's important stuff. If you're in this group, you came here to learn how to build a business. Now obviously placement and where you drive, activity, and all of those kinds of things, making sure that your legs are building in a way that's maintaining that 2-to-1 or the 1-to-1 ratio that we covered earlier. And then obviously understanding the importance of strategies and plans for actually generating the volume that's going to generate and drive your ability to tap into this side of the earning capacity. Okay, so I know it's a little bit of a confusing issue. Go back, watch this one again, get on the Facebook page, ask questions if you have any. But this is stuff you got to know, because this is how you're generating your income. And if you don't understand where it's coming from, it makes it hard to schedule and create a plan of how you're going to get to the place that you want to get to. All right? All right, we'll see you next time.